In today's video, I'll be discussing 4 fundamental things to determine whether you are doing well financially or not, how reliable those things are, and how they can actually end the worry over your finances. Welcome back to my channel, and if today is your first time, you are also welcome. On this channel, we discuss everything about money that can give you a robust wallet as soon as possible. I have been privileged to work in financial environment over 8 years, and I've learned a lot of crucial things that can contribute to financial fitness. Your financial success can actually be determined by these 4 fundamentals. Number one is, what game are you playing? I recently got to know that larger percentage of people are actually struggling with their finances, and they've not been able to move out of that net because they are playing the wrong game, which I called social posturing game. If we look at our society today, we can actually see that a lot of people derive joy in posting something that makes them feel successful. In actual sense, this is not the measure of success, even if it means that they have to put all they have out there to maintain that social posture. They don't mind. You can actually determine if an individual is playing this type of game because all their essence will be wrapped around how many cars do they have, how many shoes can they showcase, how many clothes are in their wardrobe, and whatsoever they can also post on the internet, to prove that they are really living well or they are having a good life. And sadly, this type of game will only pressurize their players to go to any extent in order to maintain their social standing. Robert Kiyosaki, pardon my pronunciation, it might not be correct, but Robert Kiyosaki in his book Rich Dad Poor Dad said, "It is not how much money you make, how much money you keep, how hard it works for you, but how many generations you keep it for is what that matters." This as well connects me to the second game, which I tagged opulence game. Opulence game, on the other hand, focuses more on something that is not really visible to the whole world, but focuses more on the positive things that money can actually be used for. This could be self-development, the liquid cash that you have for emergencies, the money that you put in an investment that will give you a bigger ROI. It's also about the money you can spend on businesses that will later bring you a bigger returns. This is primarily about spending money on something that will later bring you the affluence, the power to live life well, and also in your own parameters. The aim of this particular game is that it makes sure that you are financially fit and not that you are proving anything to anybody. The aim of social posturing game is to make you believe in yourself that you are rich while you are literally living for the society, you are living for the internet, you are living for the people. You want people to think you are rich or believe that you are rich. While on the other hand, aim of opulence game is to make sure that you're genuinely rich, even if it means social validation is zero. So once your financial game is not based on social posturing, you will actually realize that you are doing well financially. Second fundamental, which is point B, is what should be your ideal income. One method to judge your financial progress is actually to look at the average salary. According to Time Doctor, an average salary in Nigeria is 4,060,000 naira, while average salary globally, take for example in the US, according to world data, is $76,770. And to be honest, the disparity makes no difference regarding how we see ourselves, because firstly, according to several articles on ResearchGate, we can actually feel bad about our achievements if it's coming directly to us through our relatives or close friends rather than the society. Secondly, according to another article from the same source, which is ResearchGate, it is also proven that no matter how big or small our earnings are, it is easier to feel bad about it rather than feel good about it. Brian Portnoy, in his book Investor's Paradox, described this scenario mentioned above as loss aversion, which means we incur more pain from losing than the pleasure we derive from winning. Take, for example, if we pick 50,000 naira on the floor, maybe somebody else lost it and it was our own gain, the degree of our pleasure can never be compared to the pain we will feel if we have lost the same amount. So I think this illustration is quite applicable to our finances too. According to the research, it is also stated that if you find out in your close circle that you are the one earning more, so the level of excitement cannot really last you long compared to the pain you will feel if you are the least earner in your group. Most of the time, this usually have an adverse effects on our level of happiness. And in our society of today, most people worry a lot when they discover that some people are earning more than them, which will definitely pull them on a ladder of continuous discontent. So, how do one navigate through this? This will lead us to point C, which will require you to master the three fundamental principles that I'm going to share now. Number one out of the three principles is get a clearer understanding of your relationship with money. And this just means have an overview of your income, of your expenses, and derive a way to genuinely live within your means. This simply means as your income increases, you must intentionally maintain your level of expenses so that you can use the remaining that is left over to invest or save until you are able to invest in other big assets that will later generate money for you. And this also leads me to point number two, which means create a backup fund for emergencies. And this could also mean any saved money that you have to be intentionally put aside for unexpected life events like job loss, like car repair, and also medical bills. Take it from me for free. If you have this emergency account, it has already set you ahead from a lot of people. Take, for example, in this research shown on the screen, it was discovered that 57% of people in Nigeria do not even care about emergency fund. They don't have it. It was also discovered that only 36% of Nigerians have an emergency fund in case of life unexpected happening. However, this is a must-have account, even if it means it's only 1 month salary that is being there. If you are consistent with that, I can promise you that you are way ahead of others and you are really wealthier than you think you are. Third principle to also take into consideration is make sure that your debt is very, very easy to handle. It is not only bad to say you use debt to buy unnecessary things, it will become worse if debt is the only option you have to pay for your bills or covering for your expenses. It was said in 2022 that a larger percentage of Nigerians actually use debt, to pay their bills. If you are able to save part of your income, you have an emergency fund, and you are not resorting to debt before you pay your bills, you are actually doing well more than most people. So don't feel maybe because you don't have these thousands or millions in your account, you are not rich enough. And of course, we are all work in progress. But the aim of this video is just for you to know that you are not doing badly as well, and you are seriously wealthier than you think. However, even if we are able to do all of that, does it really make any difference in our lives? Maybe or maybe not. Loss aversion again. And this will lead me to our final point, which is don't view your progress from a societal standpoint rather than a personal standpoint. There is an anonymous quote that says, perspective determines your reality. So, relating this to this video means our perspective about how bad we see ourselves is only dependent on the societal judgment or the comparison that we have succumbed to. Something like, oh, I don't have the designer bags yet, I cannot travel the world yet, or I don't have this gadget, I don't have this thing. And this kind of agitations will only have a negative or adverse effects on how we eventually see ourselves. If we can actually see ourselves in a great light and celebrate our small authentic wins and not audio wins, we will say that we are really doing well, majorly in this kind of economy. And when you do this judiciously, it will set you free from societal expectations, unnecessary comparison, low self-esteem, or even mental torture. And of course, I am not preaching complacency. I'm just saying when you are able to see yourself in a different light and know that you are not really sitting down and not doing anything, it will set you free from unnecessary social pressure, or what I called social posturing game in the first place. So let me know in the comment section below, would you rather be known for social posturing game and nothing to fall back on at home, or the silent mover who are not recognized socially? So those are the 4 roles that can actually dictate whether you're doing well financially or not. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm very sure that you gained a lot of value here today. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video so that it can be pushed out to more people who also might be worried about their financial stand. This will be an encouragement to them that they are doing well more than what they ever imagined, and they are wealthier than they ever think. Until my next video, stay sound, I care.